Hey, welcome back to another wonderful edition of Opera with Fries. We used to be Opera with a side of fries, but now we've curtailed our name to Opera with Fries. That was the latest I heard from our PR department. Is that correct? As
That is
always,
correct.
that is correct. As always, I am one of your hosts, Oren Gratis. I'm joined by
Frank Basile.
And Carl Tanner.
Yeah, we're back. We figured that all our listeners were getting sick and tired of having these wonderful guests, so we decided it was just going to be us today. No, actually, in truth, that's not true. We actually had an amazing guest set up, really amazing, and we cannot get a hold of them right now because Carl fucked up, probably. Probably gave the wrong date or the wrong month or some shit like that. Anyway,
I'm looking, and I think I gave the 24th.
The 24th of what? November?
24th of September. I'm looking at it right now.
Of next year. Anyway,
and we could tell all about his credentials without saying his name.
No. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for two reasons. One, we want to surprise you guys, or the second is we just can wait to curse him out later on when he doesn't show. If he doesn't show in the future. No,
exactly.
But this guy's awesome, and we're really excited to have him when he finally does show up. So anyway, we're gonna just kind of catch you up on what's going on in our crazy worlds and just the crazy world in general. All right, who wants to take the lead here?
Frank,
Carl?
You want to go ahead?
Well, you just asked me what's going on with the Met, Carl. So you obviously know the latest scoop. What was that
just
about?
yesterday, the Metropolitan Opera in New York City canceled the rest of their season. So thousands of people or hundreds of people are out of work until the start of the season of 2021, September probably, or August, when they go into rehearsal. So I mean, it's a big thing now. I mean, you can't just keep canceling work and not making other plans for people. You know, the people that only work at the Met are truly screwed. And the rest of us that have some jobs that have been canceled also, we're screwed because I don't know what to say anymore.
Carl, you and I had contracts this year, so we did lose on those, and so we just have to kind of scramble and figure out how to continue with our lives. I mean, as you guys know, I'm making a big move here. For the last, I did not see this coming. I did not see, obviously, the pandemic coming, but I started taking real estate investment classes. I did a certification through NYU, and I'm actually going to be doing sort of an internship job in Las Vegas now over the next few months. So that's my big news. I'm going to be taking off from New York and going all the way cross country to a city that I do not know at all to try to do that, to just try to expand my horizons and until opera comes back and we figure out what's going on. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be sitting behind a desk for the first time in my life and actually have a quote unquote real job, I think, for the first time in my life. So that's
and now I know what I'm doing.
Welcome to the real world, right?
And then I have to learn not to take a nap now. I don't know how I've never gone through a whole day, I think, without taking a nap in the middle of the day. So either I'm going to have to sleep at my desk. Exactly. No, and I'm hoping that, obviously I'm going to be singing, trying to do as many recitals, concerts, whatever I can. But
they love music out in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I could do some Wayne. Is Wayne Newton still alive? I don't know. Is Wayne Newton?
Yeah, sure. He's still there.
I called Wayne. Actually, you know what? It's a funny story. A childhood friend. Well, a friend. I mean, got kid I went to school with when I was like in 6th, 7th grade. I don't want to say. I mean, he was kind of a dorky kid, and I hate to say that, but he would probably admit it as well. Anyway, from what I understand, he is the #1 lounge singer in all of Las Vegas now. There are pictures of him on Facebook, with statuesque Vegas showgirls on either side of him. It's hysterical. So I am definitely going to check out his show. So that is something I'm doing.
Well, you should start the Oren Gratis show with that one.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was singing in Santa Fe several years ago, Stephen and I jotted over to Vegas to have a little long weekend of R&R. Mm-hmm. And my agent calls me. My publicist called me and she said, "What are you doing tonight?" And I said, "Well, I'm just sitting around, probably laying by the pool." And she said, "Well, go to the concierge and pick up tickets. You're going to see a show tonight." So I picked up these tickets and I look at them and it says Wayne Newton. So we got to the show and we got center aisles, center seats, best seats in the house. And he comes out and he sings the first like 3 words of Dankeschön. He comes out and he goes, "Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Dankeschön, darling." And everybody else takes over behind him. They're all singing. He's not singing. He's just lip syncing. As soon as he finished the song, he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I got a great friend of mine in the audience here." He said, "One of the world's greatest operatic tenors. Carl, where are you, buddy?"
Stop.
I'm not kidding you. And I'm looking around thinking, "Who's here?" And Stephen goes, "He's talking about you." And I said, "What?" And so he said, "Stand up, Carl." So I stand up.
Wait, whoa. That does not sound like Steven, first of all.
He said, "Okay." Well, he goes, "He talking about you. Stand up, dumbass.
There you go.
Stand up. That's you." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "You. He's talking about you. Stand up." So I stand up and I wave to the crowd. And, now Stephen and I are probably we were in I was in my 40s. Stephen's in his early 30s and our mid 30s. And we're the youngest people by 30 years,
Sure.
except for Miss America. She was there that night. So after the show, the whole time I'm watching the show, and I look to my left and there's an old lady going, looking at me, and I smile, and then the people behind me, I turn around, they're like, so they're all wondering how I know Wayne Newton or how Wayne Newton knows me. Should I put
Yeah,
that?
well, I'm wondering that too.
So afterwards, this girl meets us at the end of the aisle, and she goes, "Mr. Tanner, can you come with me?" And we go down, and we're hanging in his dressing room. And all of a sudden, Wayne comes in. He goes, "Oh my God, there you are, Virginia boy." And we start talking about he was born and raised in Virginia.
Really?
He was born in Fredericksburg, and I think Fredericksburg, and then moved from Fredericksburg to Roanoke. And he lived in Roanoke until he was about 8 years old. And his father knew he had talent, so he moved the family to Vegas. And so we started talking, and he looked amazing. I think then he was like 96.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And now
Not a
he's like
Botox.
10 or something.
Why is your mic so loud, Frank? Frank,
I'm barely talking.
no,
I have no idea.
you move it back a little bit. Sorry.
Sure, I'll move it way back. How's that?
Anyway, so I can get you in to see Wayne Newton, and you go see him. He and I are buddies. The next night, we went to see Celine Dion as a surprise, and hung out with Celine in her dressing room.
Well, how
Did she
did
say-
Wayne know you? I mean, how was the deal?
My publicist at that time knew everyone, and
course.
she called Wayne Newton, she called Celine Dion, and she called, who's the famous magician, the guy that makes
David
shit.
Copperfield.
Yes. And
Brother,
so
you
all
got a
of a
good
sudden,
publicist.
all 3 of them, Wayne Newton, Celine Dion, and David Copperfield. Thank God I had my Christmas CD because, I was carrying it to the concerts with me to give to him because everyone, I mean, Celine Dion made me stand up and wave to the crowd. And then afterwards, she had guards meet me and take me down to her dressing room. She has like a 14-inch waist. I'm not kidding you. It's like this big. And we just hung out in her dressing room, and I started talking. Oh, before the show, we hung up out in the dressing room. She called me down before. Then after the show, we went back down and we started talking about, because she had just lost her father. So we start talking about the loss of her father, and she starts crying, and Stephen like looking at me, and he goes in the bathroom, and he comes out of the bathroom, and he's standing behind Celine Dion. He's giving me the cutoff sign, like, and I'm like looking at him, and all of a sudden we walk out. He goes, "Why you make her cry? Why you make her cry? You make her cry. She fucking hates you now." I said, "Wait a minute. You talking about her dead father?" I said, "She brought it up. She said she's going through a rough time." And he goes, "Well, good job. You fuck everything up. Now we don't know her. She invite us to a house." I said, "We're only here for one more day." But,
I love Steven when he comes to our show.
All I gotta say is this is not gonna be my experience at all in Las Vegas, unfortunately.
No. You need a publicist.
I need a publicist. I need something. I need to be hanging out with these kind of people.
And then David Copperfield, all he did was something really cool. He goes on stage, does a trick, and then all of a sudden disappears right in front of us. Then he appears in the back of the house, and everybody turns around, and then he disappears, and he appears right next to me and has me stand up.
That's
Very
cool.
nice.
And I stand
Really
up, and he
cool.
goes, "A good friend of mine, world-renowned tenor, Carl Tanner." And I'm like,
Listen,
holy shit, this is so cool. He's
If you
tapping me on
I'm sure.
if you come out, can we do all this stuff again?
And then I disappeared, and I ended up in his bedroom. It was really strange. I was like, "Hello, David."
Oh my God.
More than a Teddy.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, we had a great weekend there. So look, I'm going to make some calls for you. I'll get you
Make
in.
some calls. Yeah.
Where are you gonna stay? Where you out there? Where you got an apartment yet?
Yeah, I got a place I'm staying. I'm
Westward Ho.
no, actually, I'm staying in the lovely community of Summerlin, Nevada, which is actually nowhere near the Strip. It's about 10 miles from the Strip. It's a nice place, and yeah, we'll see. This is
He tried to get a room in the Chicken Ranch, but they were full.
the Bunny Ranch, not
The
the
Bunny
Chicken
Ranch.
The Bunny Ranch. That's right.
The Bunny Ranch. Only a
Have-
gay guy
have
would
you-
not know the name of that place. The Chicken
Bunny
Ranch.
I don't know what the fuck.
No,
I think when you're gay, it's called the Chicken Ranch.
listen. There's no opera going on, so I figure I might try something else for
Listen,
expand my horizons.
I did Pagliacci out in Nevada. They have opera there.
No, they do. They do. Actually,
Yeah.
I looked. I'm gonna get in touch with them when I
And
get out
six
there.
people came.
No. They unfortunately they've also canceled their entire season, but
Oh, wow.
there is Opera Las Vegas. So this is a shout out to Opera Las Vegas. I'm coming. I'll be
Yeah.
out there. You want to let's put something together. We can do something, fundraising, whatever you want to do. You have a singer coming out. So yeah, that's my life. So my apartment right now is it's an absolute mess. It's just going to be me and my 2 cats are going to be hitting the road here pretty soon.
You're
I
going to
know.
take the cats with you?
The
I
cats-
got
what am I gonna
excited
do?
because he asked me to ride with him, and then all of a sudden he nixed me from riding with him. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who's riding with you now.
My 2 cats, Figaro and Cleo.
That's it?
Yeah, and and a little bit of furniture. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's
Have you rented a truck yet?
no, not yet.
What are you waiting on? You do. You're
Uh,
going. It's a
I-
one way. It's a one way. You
I
need to rent it.
haven't-
Like,
Because I don't think I've convinced myself that I'm actually doing this yet.
okay, what are you going to do when you
Yeah.
start looking and it's not available? Is
Then
that an Emmy? Is that oh, that's your Emmy, isn't it? That's your Emmy. Not Emmy, but that's your Golden Globe. That's Celeste
Oh,
Golden Bagot back.
Right
I was
there?
I was looking at my behind me.
That's a Gold Globe.
Where's the Emmy?
Actually, it was an Oscar. It's an Oscar.
I know, but don't she has an Emmy, an Oscar, and a Golden Globe, right?
Yeah, but they're not on the show.
She's like
They're
Cheetah
just-
Rivera, right? Cheetah Rivera did the same thing.
I live in New Jersey and there's COVID going on. If somebody breaks in, I don't want them to see that.
I was gonna say, do you have security, Frank, for all the stuff you have?
Exactly. They might not
So-
know what this.
So the
they'll
Golden
think this
Globe
is
is
a-
crap. They'll
they'll
think
think
that's
this-
just a
They'll think it's a baseball.
bowling trophy.
Yeah, it looks like a bronze baseball.
It's
Actually,
a bronze baseball. They'll leave it alone.
Yeah,
looks
a
like your
baseball
little
trophy.
league trophy.
Exactly.
You got it's not even for like an all-star. It's like it's like for just being a participant.
Yeah, you get these people come by and they knock on your door in New Jersey. They have these questionnaires and surveys, and they're looking in your door like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. And by the way, question number 2, and you think they're going to come back later. It's scary.
I
But,
think our audience is sitting there going, God, why did they have their guest? I mean, they're probably sitting there going, I wish they had their guest on, having to listen to all this shit.
No, but
No, I'm
listen,
kidding. This is a good time. Carl, you said you had some Steven stories, right? Because I love
Well,
those.
Well, this week,
well,
this-
listen, Carl, you've been fixing your whole house up for the last month and a half.
correct.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
your transition.
When you're as
For an
famous
out
as
of
I
work for an
am,
out of work opera singer, you're doing a
Yeah.
lot of
Well,
home improvements.
yes,
Yeah.
when you're as famous and wealthy as I am, the celebrity net worth isn't worth $8 million. It's much more now. And I have such a huge home that I'm turning the basement into an apartment. A 3-bedroom apartment. Not because I need the money. It's because I'm alone in this huge cavernous house. I'm alone. Stephen and I and the kid feel alone. So we're turning it into a 2-bedroom apartment. And so they've been doing construction down there. And I've been able to shelter Stephen and Oliver from going downstairs until 2 days ago. And you have to understand, when they're ripping walls out and furniture stacked everywhere and shit's going everywhere and there's dust and, it looks like I'm not kidding you, it literally looks like a bomb went off downstairs. And Stephen goes down to look for something and he hasn't gone down in 2 weeks. And he gets downstairs and I don't know he's downstairs. And I said, Oliver, did Daddy just walk downstairs? And he goes, yeah. And I said, Stephen. And all of a sudden I hear, what the fuck? And I go running down. He goes, holy shit. What happened to the fucking wall? And I said, well, they moved the wall. They're moving the wall. And he goes, I'm going to blame you for this. This looked like shit. And I said, relax. He goes, oh my God. He goes, you ruined our house. And I said, I didn't ruin anything. He goes, look around. It looked like shit. All your fault. All your fault. And I said, relax. It's not that bad. And he goes, no, the house looked like shit. He goes, you think you're so good, so smart. You're going to make a 2-bedroom. He goes, now we have no fucking basement and a pile of shit. I said, relax. It's fine. I said, you know what? In 2 weeks, and he goes, in 2 weeks, still going to look like shit. So I don't know what to do. I mean, now yesterday the kitchen cabinets came. And he goes, oh great, more shit to put downstairs on the shit. So that's it. More shit to put on the shit. And then this morning the refrigerator came and he goes, oh great, refrigerator for the shit. And I said, would you relax? He just calls it shit now.
Where is Steven? Is Steven there right now?
Yeah, put him
he's
on.
out. He's out. He's running around doing
We
something.
need to get Steven on the show just so everybody can see that your imitation is spot on.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's
Has he ever listened to the podcast when you imitate him?
no. And we've had a lot of comments. You know, people talk
they
about,
love it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
people said, I love it. One comment came in that said, Frank, I just love your voice and the way you guys, the repartee and our repartee and all that. And Oren, what an amazing speaking voice. And the other guy, I can't remember his name, but his husband, Steven, can you believe he remembered Steven's name? Frank, your name, Oren, but couldn't remember mine.
You should make T-shirts that have Steven's picture on it and says like, "What the fuck?" or
What the
something.
fuck? That would be great. We should sell
Or
that
it's
on the
it's
show.
all shit. It's all shit.
shit.
Just say "What the fuck" on the front, and it's all shit on the back.
It's
I
all
love that
bullshit.
idea, Oren. I love it.
We're taking orders. If we can get enough orders, we'll make shirts.
Well, you
That's
know,
right.
I did order my shirt that says, "Don't you know who I think I am?"
I love
And guess what? It's gotten lost in the mail.
that. Of course.
Really?
I'm very distraught over it.
Oh my gosh.
We
Yeah.
were supposed to wear these shirts, weren't we? At one point.
Yeah, we're
Oren?
supposed to wear all our shirts.
Yeah. What was your shirt, Oren?
It's something that Carl got me. It said, "I'm not gay, but $20 is $20." My son actually wanted to wear it at school.
Oh my
No, my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Oh,
My
really?
wife nixed that idea.
I bet.
Hey, he might get a couple dates out of it.
I know. Listen, I wanted the shirt that said, "I'm not gay, but my boyfriend is." I like that one.
Was that the one you wanted to get for me, Carl? I can't remember. You picked them out.
There was one that I saw one that's just hadn't called for. It said, "I'm not gay, my butthole is."
That's one for you, Frank.
Yeah.
There you go, Frank. We're gonna get you that one.
Get it really small and I'll put it on Barker.
Oh my god.
And then I have one with printing this tiny, right? And it's upside down, and it says, "If you can read this, you're sitting on my face."
Oh. I had one when I was a kid, which is I had a one that was a Chinese menu with like, but it was a lot of things that I didn't even understand when I was a kid.
You can
know,
chew. And
Yeah,
cream of
two
young
can chew,
guy.
cream of some young guy, all that shit. And when I saw it years later, I was like, oh my god, because then I finally understood what everything meant. But I thought it was so funny because I got like one or two of the innuendos. But then when I was older, I think I found it. I was like cleaning out my drawer, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I had this when I was like 12.
And your parents didn't find it.
And your parents, you didn't wear it, did you?
I may have. I don't even remember. To school? Who knows?
You know, there is a restaurant on 9th Avenue, somewhere between, I think between 40 in New York City, 9th Avenue, between 40, no, I'm sorry, between 52nd and 53rd, 51st, 52nd, going downtown. It's on your left-hand side. It's a Chinese restaurant, nice size. You go in there and you sit down, and there's only one Chinese restaurant right along there, so you can find it. So if you're living in New York City and you hear this podcast, go in this Chinese restaurant, and when you order your meal, you have to tell them, "I want the good fortune cookies," and they'll bring you these fortune cookies that are just really special. You know, they're all profanity laced and all that. So they can give you the regular fortune cookies, like, you know, Confucius say, but I got one that said, Confucius say, those who go to bed with itchy butt wake up with stinky finger.
Okay, we have digressed.
Steve, yes.
To an whole new level.
And Stephen got one. Chinese 69. Me fucking you, you fucking me.
But you have to ask for the real fortune cookies.
Yeah,
you
have to ask for the good fortune cookies.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think in most places, Chinese restaurants you go to, they actually have those? You just have to ask for them?
Probably not, no.
I don't know.
Imagine getting them mixed up and some kid opens one.
Oh.
That would be.
You know what's
what's Chinese 69 mean?
That's shrimp and pork.
Yeah, well, there's a joke that way.
This
old Chinese couple is getting in bed, and he feels a little frisky, and he touches, and he goes, "Hey, you, come on." And she goes, "Go to bed. I'm sleepy." He said, "Come on, I feel a little randy. Come on." She said, "No." He goes, "Come on, let's 69." She goes, "What do you want beef and broccoli for?"
That's right.
All right, you know what? I think we should all tell our favorite joke. Come on. That's a good one. Frank, do you have a good joke?
I have no memory, no jokes.
All right, Carl, let's hear your joke. I have a good joke too. Go ahead, Carl.
So this old lady and this old man are driving down the road, and she's driving, and they're in their 90s. She can barely see. It's late at night. They're driving a big old Cadillac with Texas plates. They're driving, screaming through New York State, and this cop pulls them over. And she's driving, and he comes up and knocks on the window. And the husband goes, "Roll down your window." She says, "Huh?" He says, "Look." She looks out the window. Oh, she rolls down her window. Cop says, "Welcome to New York. You're going a little fast, aren't you?" And she said, "What? Huh?" He says, "You're going too fast. You can't hear him? You're going too fast," he says. She says, "Oh." Cop says, "License and your registration." Old lady says, "Huh?" Husband says, "For God's sakes, woman, he wants your license and your registration." So she gives license and registration. The cop says, "I'll be right back." He goes back, runs the plates, comes back up and says, "I see you're from Texas." She says, "Huh? What?" Husband says, "Oh my God, he says he sees we're from Texas." She goes, "Oh." The cop says, "Worst fuck I ever had was in Texas." She says, "What? What?" Husband says he thinks he knows you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
All right, you may tell one. I'm going to tell
with accents and all. It's great.
Thank you.
Right.
What?
All right, I'm going to tell one. So this Jewish guy gets into a horrific accident. He loses his penis. So he goes to the hospital.
We don't have to air this, Just hanging out.
The hospital goes, "Listen, some good news and some bad news." He goes, "Luckily, we have a procedure. We were not able to recover your penis, but luckily we have a procedure where we can reconstruct a new penis for you. The bad news is it's kind of an expensive procedure." They said, "Listen, it's about $1,000 per inch. So you may want to go home, think about and talk about it with your wife, because you may want to go for $5,000, but your wife might be like, it's not enough. You might want to go for a $10,000 penis. Your wife might say it's a little much. Go home, talk it over." So the guy comes back with his wife, and the doctor says, "So have you guys made the decision?" She goes, "Yes, we're going to go with the granite countertops."
All right, I have one.
Frank, I knew you would.
And I know, and it's going to put yours to shame as far as. Okay.
I'm afraid now.
Start digressing. This young boy is in the bathroom and he's looking in some, what boys do when they're about 12 years old and they finally figure out.
Wait, I have a 12-year-old. What are you trying to say? What are they doing?
Be careful.
Oh, God.
So, well, we're all, he's looking at a girl.
I have a 12-year-old also.
Yeah, I was going to say, Carl, you have a 12-year-old also.
And you know what he's been saying lately? Sorry to interrupt. He's been saying,
right.
Papa, would you please knock on the door when you come in now? Please knock.
Oh, no, there you go.
At least he's honest, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this boy's in the bathroom looking at the girlie. Father walks in. "What are you doing?" The boy's looking at a centerfold and he says, "What are you doing?" He says, Daddy, what is this? And he points right to the center, And the father says, son, that's not for you. That's really dangerous. Inside there, there's razor sharp teeth, and it will cut off anything that comes close to it. So you just stay away from that. Let me have that magazine. And he leaves. Well, unfortunately, the father, shortly after that, passes away. The boy grows up with no other knowledge about girls other than this, and he's really taken his father's advice to heart. So he stays away from girls through high school, through college, and he finally meets a girl, and they start to go on a date. They're romantic, and they haven't had sex or anything, but they get married. He falls in love to get married, and it's a honeymoon night, and they still haven't had sex. And the wife is like, "Oh, I just can't wait. This is going to be so special." And he's like, it's their honeymoon, and he says, "I think I want to wait. I'm tired. I want to go to bed." He goes, "What is wrong with you? We've been dating for a year. We haven't been intimate. We're married now. Come on." He says, "Well, if I have to confess," he said, "you have razor sharp teeth down there, and anything that come close is going to be cut off, and I just don't want to go there." She goes, "That's ridiculous. Who the hell told you that?" He said, "My father." She goes, "Well, your father was lying to you." He goes, "No, he doesn't." She said, "Here, let me show you." So she takes off her negligee. She goes, "Look." And she said, "See, come on." He goes, "I don't want to get to it." She goes, "Come here." She takes his head, sticks it right down there. She says, "Now look, look. I don't have any teeth down there. You see any teeth?" And he says,
Oh, God, Frank. Oh.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been our show forever. We'll be going off the air after that joke.
Oh, my God.
We can't air this.
We can't air this. Now we officially cannot air this.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I told you it was going to go down.
I mean, I've got jokes like that too, Frank, but I don't know if they're not appropriate for a podcast. Jeez.
Oh.
Hey, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this tenor joke.
Lighten the
Tenor.
mood.
Yeah, this is the tenor. This guy's dying. This guy's dying. Isn't that terrible?
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm like choking on my own spit. Okay, go on, Carl.
Right, go.
So, I'll tell you this one. I'll tell you that, since we're telling jokes, first I'll tell you the Lone Ranger has finally been caught by the Indians. They bury him up to his neck. And, they have him buried up to his neck. They're about to scalp him. And the chief says, "We're going to give you one last wish before we kill you. And we want to let you know that we're very, very impressed with you. It's amazing. You have you're an amazing person. I hate to kill you, but we have to, because you're a cowboy and we're an Indian, And he said, "Well, no, I understand. I understand." He looks up and he goes, "Well, can I speak to my horse?" And they're like, "Really? Just the horse?" He goes, "Yep." So the horse comes over and kneels down and puts his ear up to the, Lone Ranger's mouth. And the Lone Ranger goes, nods like that. And the horse backs up and takes off down the path. So the Indians are looking around going, I mean, is this like, he can talk to his horse. His horse understands what? And so do we have to kill him? And Chief goes, "We still have to kill him." Yeah. Well, because you guys, you know what he does. And all of a sudden they're just about to scalp him. And up comes the horse riding up with the prettiest woman in the world, literally the most beautiful woman in the world, riding completely side saddle and completely naked. She slides off onto her knees in front of the Lone Ranger right here. And the Indians are looking at each other going, we can't kill him. This is impossible. So the chief walks up and goes, "Listen, I don't know what this is about, but this is truly amazing." He said, "We're going to give you one last wish before we kill you." He said, "One last, just one. Yeah, I really appreciate that." He goes, "I just need to speak to my horse again." So they're like, "Really? Just that's it?" He goes, "Yep." So the horse comes over and looks at him and kneels down, looks at him, and he looks at the horse and he said, "I said posse. Get the posse."
I was just thinking while you were telling these jokes, we wanted to have Ian Armitage on, and I can say that name. who is a family friend of yours. You call him your little
He's my nephew.
little nephew, your little nephew. You know, but being that he is a famous child actor, we have to get approval from
NBC.
NBC
or
yes.
CBS.
CBS, whatever. I think CBS. So I think they want to review a couple of our podcasts to make
We
sure
should
it's
show them
appropriate.
this.
This is
Guess
the
what?
one.
We
Right.
now have an editor, and if
That's
he
right.
does his job right, you ain't going to see any of this shit.
This is the one that is going to make sure that we never get anybody under the age of 18 on.
I have another one for you guys.
Oh God.
All right, you'll appreciate this because this will remedy the.
I don't know if anything can, but okay.
So this little bird is flying.
Look on your face, Carl.
So,
Okay, go on.
All right. There's this bird and he's flying. It's winter. It's getting cold now, and he's north. And he realizes I need to get south sooner. I'm going to freeze to death. Well, he's flying south, and all of a sudden there's kind of an early frost, and his wings get heavy. Wings start to get heavier, full of ice. He falls to the ground. He's still trying to get south, and he's walking, and it's the cold overtakes him, and he's just about to die. This poor little bird. And then all of a sudden, this cow comes along and dumps on him this crap, just buries him all the way over his head in this manure.
Warm manure.
More manure. And the bird's in there, and he's thinking, oh, this is nice. This is just what I needed. And he starts to feel like his arms start to fall and his
Wings
start to his wings. And he just he's feeling good. He's starting to flutter. And so he starts to sing. He's so happy. He starts to sing. Well, along comes a fox. He hears the singing, and he goes over there and sniffs the crap, but he hears the singing, so he digs through the crap and finds this bird, and he eats him.
What's the moral of the story?
And the moral of this story is, not everyone who dumps on you is your enemy. Not everyone who helps you out is your friend. But when you're up to your neck in deep doo-doo, it's best to keep your mouth shut.
That's cute.
Okay.
I was going to say, if we ever air this,
Yeah.
if you hear this podcast and you have a good joke, please send it to us.
Yep.
At
Yes.
operawithfries@gmail.com. I'm just going to say that right now
Yes, please.
because
send
we
us your-
clearly need some new jokes.
Yes, we do. Here, I have a joke for you. So
This is what happens when a guest does not come on.
yeah,
Just so you
exactly.
To that guest who is supposed to come on, this is what happens.
So there's this tenor. There's this guy. He's not a tenor. I'm sorry. There's this guy. He's dying of brain cancer, and the doctor comes in and says, "Look, you have a week to live." And he says, "A week? That's it? I thought I had more time." And he goes, "Your brain's deteriorating. There's going to be no brain here in about a week." And he said, "But," he said, "we have an experimental surgery. We're not sure it'll work, but we can try it. We have one of the premier neurosurgeons here. We can try it." And he goes, I'll do anything. And he goes, "Well, it's also about, it's about money too." He said, "You got to I'll be in tomorrow. I'll come in tomorrow with some samples." So he comes in the next morning, and he has he's rolling these 3 carts, and he uncovers this first brain, and he goes, This brain is the brain of a lawyer who's practiced. My doorbell just went off.
Is that part of the joke?
No, he said this brain is the brain of a brilliant lawyer who's practiced before. He's educated at Harvard, and won many cases and practiced before the Supreme Court, argued before the Supreme Court. This brain here is $200,000. He goes, "Holy crap, I can't afford that." He goes, "Well, then we should just stop now." He goes, No, go, might as well. You came all this way. And he goes, "Okay." So he uncovers the next brain. He goes, "This is the brain of a great surgeon, actually a friend of mine. He loves riding motorcycles, and he passed away 2 nights ago. He was educated at Yale and went on to write the medical thesis that everybody lives by, and all this." And he said, and he pioneered the surgery of this actual about this actual operation we're going to do on you. And he goes, this is $450,000. $450,000. He said, oh my God, I can't afford that. He said, well, then he said, I'll just show you the last one. And he uncovers his brain. It's a tiny, tiny little thing. It's a tiny little brain. Looked like a little donut. And he said, what is that? And he goes, this is the brain of an operatic tenor. This tenor has sung all the leading roles, all the major tenor roles in all of the great houses. He's been at, how do you say, La Scala. He's been at the Metropolitan Opera. He's been in Munich and Berlin, and he's been in Covent Garden, and he's been in San Francisco, and he's been in Chicago. And he's, yeah. He says, go on. He goes, surely that little thing can't be expensive. He goes, this is $1 million brain. He goes, $1 million? Why the hell is it so expensive? He goes, hey, come on. He says it's a brain of a tenor. It's never been used.
Dum.
I have to bring us back down from porno level.
You know, I'm going to put this to a vote. I think from now on, we always have on our show the segment Tales from the Road, which is a great segment. I think we should have our guests also come up with their best.
Tell a joke. I do too.
With their best jokes. That's
Absolutely.
On the spot. Yes.
And now that I think back to some of the people we've had on, I'm really upset that I just thought of that now because LaTanya Moore would have come up with some one of the most amazing.
We're gonna have her back on. We got to get
her. Christine Gerke, all these people had great jokes, and now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, we missed out.
Guys, let me ask you a question. Since we're basically recording this, should we edit some of this out seriously, or should we let it roll? And should we actually air it?
Oh.
Should we edit?
The hell with it. I mean,
no, really.
Well, but now if we do it, people are going to wonder what was the joke. If we edit it out, people are going to say, "What's the joke that Frank told it?"
Right,
and we'll keep them going.
Edit it right before the punchline.
Yes.
That's just,
yes.
Leave it hanging, cliffhanger.
We'll have Ian do a remember when the TV went to the TV went to the white noise kind of
exactly.
Dee.
And you guys are sitting there, oh my God, that's the worst. That's the worst. And they didn't get the joke because we edited it out right before it. I think that's what we should do, okay?
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at my cat because my cat is sitting here and I think he's about to pee on one of my pillows here.
Guys, can you guys keep talking? I got to check and see my literally my contractor just rang the doorbell. I want to make sure.
Bring him on.
I'll bring him in. Hold on, his name's Jose. Hold on.
I want to meet this contractor.
See if my cat is sitting here, and I'm wondering if he's about to pee on a pillow here. No,
they hardly ever go outside of that box, don't they? Usually, cats are pretty good about this stuff.
My dog's not home. That's why they're here. We're having a. Oh, you mean the litter box?
Yeah,
I don't know. My male cat is. I don't know what's going on with him. Anyway, I can't believe he went to go answer his door. Wait, I hope he brings him on. He's a nice guy. Where is he?
You met him?
So, hi, everybody. I got a treat. This is my 11-year-old, soon-to-be 12-year-old son that wants to say hi to everybody.
Oh, cool.
Does he have a joke?
The baseball player.
Hi.
Does he have a joke?
Do you have a joke for us?
Tell him your joke.
It smells like somebody actually farted in my studio. I mean, it does. I came in here earlier and I thought, what is that smell? And Oliver just walked in. It smells, I mean, really. Come here and tell us a joke, Oliver.
Uncle Frank's going to tell you a joke, Oliver.
Yes,
come on, you know a joke.
Come on, tell us a joke.
Okay.
Oh!
Hey! Hold on. Hey, let me okay, go.
I am so sorry. I had it on my calendar, but not on my official itinerary, and then I screwed up.
We should end our show. What do you want to do?
Welcome to our guest,
Michael. We've been talking for the last 40 minutes.
Telling the worst jokes.
Oh no!
Oh, Michael, save us! Save us!
Let me pull in, guys. Let me pull in my Miles. Are you there?
Miles. Carl,
Miles.
Should we stop recording and then this should be its own show because
we need to come back.
This is degenerated.
And then all of a sudden, Michael's face comes up on the thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect way to end this show. This segment.
I'm
It really is.
No, don't worry.
No, look,
You're
Michael,
perfect.
do you mind coming back another day or another time?
No, anytime. I feel horrible. I just feel
Oh,
so bad.
No, don't.
We
As
just
long
thought
as
maybe
I-
you listened to one of our other podcasts and said,
No,
fuck this.
That's it. No way.
No, but if this is any indication, the 30 seconds I've been on, maybe I will.
Exactly. If you want to rewind, can we rewind and show them the last 40 minutes?
So sorry.
No,
No, don't worry. Of course not. We're
It's
just happy
okay.
you're here.
I just
We-
thought I thought you went back and listened to one of our podcasts and goes, fuck this. We're not going on this guy's show. I'm not going to embarrass myself.
We actually prefaced the show. We didn't want to introduce you yet, so we said either two things are going to happen. We're either going to save you so we can excite the audience later on, or you just won't show up, and then we could talk shit about you later on as well.
I mean, I certainly deserve to be talked shit about it.
No, stop.
No.
Well, Michael, thanks for dropping by.
Oh, it's great. It was great.
So I don't know where the guys are on your screen, but
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
gentleman,
right.
the other gentleman with the beard is Oren Gratis. He's a bass at the Metropolitan Opera.
Mhm.
And my other buddy there with the long hair, that is Frank Bazile. Frank he comes to the show with his own fame. He can tell you about that the next time we're on. But and we're all good friends from the opera world. But and we just decided to go ahead and talk since we couldn't get you. And I thought, you know what, he probably it just slipped his mind, which it
So what
almost
happens
slipped
when you end up getting such famous guests? That's what happens.
Yeah.
No,
Blame it on somebody else. Somebody else could not get their
it's
shit together.
entirely my fault because I just didn't migrate the event correctly from my calendar to my itinerary, and it's my fault.
So let me ask you, what's your schedule like next week?
I'm around.
Okay.
Totally around. I'm just worried that
You're
I'm
the
gonna
only one
screw it
working in
up
the
again.
world, Michael. Tell them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't I well, this will be a good teaser for everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Michael Ian Black.
Michael
be on our
Ian
next show.
Black.
Come on, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take a bow.
do you-
Um,
are you every Thursday or is it just?
No, we record whenever because we record it and then we air it every Monday.
Got it.
So this will air Monday, and then we'll have you on. How about next Wednesday? Is that okay?
I'm putting it on my calendar.
Now, Oren, can you do next Wednesday?
Yeah, well, sure, why not?
Frank? Okay. Then hey, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Oh no, dude! Now I owe you.
No. But I was telling the guys about how you had me on your podcast, and we have a good intro for you, and you'll see the next time you come on. And I just figured it slipped your mind, and I totally get it. We've had a couple other famous guests on, and one of them forgot to, and then they came in the middle, so we recorded the session and we kind of spliced it together. And I totally get it. It's
I
fine.
forgot. Who was that? I forgot who that was.
Oh shit! What's his name? What's his name? Was late. What was his name? Come on now.
Sam Raimi? No, that's Cheryl Mills.
Sam? No, Cheryl.
Cheryl Mills.
So
Mills.
okay. Well, look, we're about to cut off anyway.
Right.
That's all right. So look, I'll
look great.
Yeah.
Hey, you safe? Everything's been okay with you and your family, kids?
Everything's great. Yes. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. And where are you living right now this week?
Wilds of Connecticut.
Oh,
Wild
okay.
to
I'm in
Connecticut.
New Jersey holding it down since you left,
Right. Well, thank you. I think Garden State appreciates you and all your efforts. And
I've been really trying. I just want you to know. I go out there and
I
give
got out as
everybody
soon as I
masks.
could, but I'm glad you're there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They told me that. They said, now that Michael's left, we're really glad we have you, Frank. So, yeah, the mayor just told me that the other day. But
Oh God,
I wish Miles was on. Miles, can you hear me, buddy?
this could go on for hours.
Maybe Miles just said fuck
who's
it.
Miles?
said, "Fuck it." He's like, "The hell with these guys."
He's smoking a joint
I
back
think
there.
After
In the
Frank's
control
joke,
room.
I think Miles passed out.
Oh, I said something. I digressed really bad.
We
don't-
really went south with this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everything was going fine until Frank's joke. Then
unfamily friendly jokes,
Yeah.
not kitty friendly, by the way. So,
Yeah.
your book.
Oren, what's your deepest note, Oren?
mine,
Yeah.
like technically speaking, or like actually vocally,
Well,
I mean-
vocally speaking,
low
of-
F, low E.
yeah. Get deep with you.
Oh, like low F, low E.
That sounds really deep.
It's deep. It's deep.
Deep.
It's deep.
Oren and I are both bases, opera bases.
Yeah, they're both bases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now both out of work basis since
Now-
there's nothing going
now-
on during the pandemic.
Michael, Ian, what the fuck am I saying? Frank's wife, ex-wife, not ex-wife, should I say? Widow. Frank's widow. Thank you. I can't think today. Frank's widow is the great Celeste Holm, movie actress. And my son is. What do you want, honey?
I have a joke now.
Okay.
Oh, now he has a joke?
Now my son has a joke. We were telling jokes. Not now. Later. Okay, honey, shut the door, please.
I have so many questions for Michael, but we're going to save it, right?
17.
What was 17?
I've known Carl since we were 17.
He took my virginity.
And we both went into the opera world.
And did you also become a bounty hunter?
I was a truck driver, not a bounty hunter, but I definitely hunted a lot of
truck
girls.
driver union, yeah.
I hunted other things. I hunted girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
without a gun.
Well, when you have the bass voice, I don't think you need the gun. Like, that's
No,
enough.
man. You just sing a couple of songs to them, they melt like butter.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Sure
Yeah,
they do.
Okay, Frank.
Yeah, that never
That's
worked.
like that. Hey, we got a guy who responded to our podcast who literally said my voice sounded like melted butter.
Oh yeah.
That
That's
is
where
true.
you got that from.
But
And then he asked you on a date after that.
Yes, the other day. But
He did ask you on a date.
He
He
Yeah.
did ask you on a
he's a
date.
very nice guy. I don't want to hurt anybody's
Have
feelings.
you guys been in touch?
Yeah, I'm glad you went. You guys had a
No,
great-
I never went on a date.
He's lying. Michael's
Well,
lying.
Okay,
He's
so
dating one of the listeners.
Guys, we're
I'm
going
still
over
in love
our-
with my late
our
wife. I
time.
think.
Okay.
we're going
let's-
over toward you. Let me ask Michael real quick. Michael, putting you
Yeah.
on the spot. Do you have a quick joke to tell?
Oh,
If we decide to air this, but we're going to have you on, I want you on for a legitimate.
So no, don't put him on the spot then. So Michael, think of a good
They
joke.
put us
Make
on
a
the
good joke
spot.
and tell
I
us the
can
next
tell you
time.
the only joke I've ever written because it was, I'm a comedian, but I don't know any jokes. I don't write any jokes.
Exactly. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
But
Funny
what-
people don't necessarily have jokes on hand.
But when my son was little, I did write him what I thought was a good kid joke, which is, what is a foot's favorite car or vehicle? A tow truck. A tow truck.
That's good.
That's really cute.
I love it.
It's very
Oh,
cute.
Maybe that's the only joke I've ever written.
Actually,
And
no,
I-
the joke that I told was from did you ever see the show Old Jews Telling Jokes?
No, but I
Did you
know.
ever see- It was brilliant. It was absolutely one of the best nights of my life.
That's
so I
a
told a joke
fantastic
from there.
joke. That is a
It was
really
a good joke.
fantastic
So
joke.
anyway, that's where I got my joke from.
And then I told a little more risque joke, and then Frank came in and ruined the fucking show. Really, he took us right down to the bottom of the barrel.
That's what
Yeah,
Jersey
really.
guys will do every time. You give him a chance, a Jersey guy will ruin the show.
I know,
That's-
seriously.
I forgot where he lived, so that's what happened. Okay,
Listen,
All right.
listen,
everyone.
You
If
guys-
you want to email us with any questions, say hi to Michael. Michael's going to be on our next show. I'm going to obligate him now.
I'm
And
yes, it's getting on my itinerary as soon as I get off with you.
Great. Next Wednesday at 1. And if you want to email us, please email us with operawithfries@gmail.com. This is all of us saying thank you for joining us.
Okay.